So we have got another question from Camilla. How do you structure your practice?
How do I structure my practice? It varies because usually I have a number of concerts coming up that I have to learn certain things for by certain times, and there are certain deadlines. But at the moment, I've found myself in such a funny place because we don't know when the next concerts are going to be, because we're in such a strange situation. So for me, I've had to really take a step back and think about what I'm trying to do and why I'm practicing and why I'm playing music at all. So structuring practice is really important. To be honest, at the moment, I'm just playing a lot of Bach to try and improve my technique. The Bach cello suites on saxophone, which sound quite strange, but I think they do work. But I think structure is really quite important in practice for me definitely anyway. I think having a time limit of how much you want to spend on each area of your practice. So I might do a half an hour warm up, say, and then have a list of things that I want to work on for that day, or a list of achievements. And it might be something like 30 minutes on this piece, or it might be I want to be able to play that passage in that piece. So that could take anywhere from 10 minutes to 10 hours. You never know how long something's going to take. But I think to have a clear idea of what you're trying to achieve in a practice session, so that you're not aimlessly playing or just which I think sometimes it can be great to just be with the instrument and just to play anything randomly, but I think usually it's good to have a clear idea of what you're trying to do with your practice, what you want to achieve. Are you practicing just because you feel like you should, or are you practicing because you have an idea of what it is you're trying to do? So for me, again, I have it might be here somewhere, this is my practice notebook. So I would write down, here I keep all my notes from my lessons in, but then I also write down notes from my practice. So I would write down from this practice session, this went well, this didn't go well, I'd like to work on this tomorrow. And that for me, writing down often makes it easier. So you could try that, see if having a list of what you want to work on. You might be able to tell I'm quite a listy person. I like having a clear structure, but that's usually how I would do it. I'd have an idea of what I was going to do, make sure I always do a warm-up, and then work on the things that I've written down.
So in a way, you've planned your next practice session at the end of your last one by making notes on what you've achieved in the last one. So you start where you finished, if you know what I mean. You don't start back where you were.
Yes, yeah, because you can quite often do that, and I think because we're practicing so many different things all the time, you might be working on 3 different pieces for your exam, and your scales, and your orchestral music, and the music for your school band. You might have so much music that it's sometimes difficult to know where to start, which can seem funny, but it can quite often be overwhelming with the amount that you need to practice, and then you don't end up practicing any of it very well at all. So I think choosing what you want to do in that session and working on that is much more useful than trying to work on everything a little bit.